Sheldon Gary Adelson was an American businessman, investor, political donor and philanthropist. He was the founder, chairman and chief executive officer of Las Vegas Sands Corporation, which owns the Marina Bay Sands in Singapore, and the parent company of Venetian Macau Limited, which operates the Venetian Las Vegas in the Sands Expo and Convention Center. He owned the Israeli daily newspaper Israel Hayom, the Israeli weekly newspaper Makor Rishon, and the American daily newspaper the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Adelson created the Adelson Foundation in 2007. He and his wife Miriam Adelson were Donald Trump's largest donors. They provided the largest donation to Trump's 2016 campaign, his presidential inauguration, his defense fund against the Mueller investigation into Russian interference, and the 2020 campaign. Adelson was also a major backer of Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. As of September 2020, Adelson was listed by Forbes as having a fortune of $33.5 billion United States dollars, making him the 28th richest person in the world and 17th in the Forbes 400. He was a major contributor to Republican Party candidates and was often dubbed a kingmaker, due to the size and frequency of his donations. Sheldon Gary Adelson was born on August 4, 1933 and grew up in the Dorchester neighborhood of Boston. The son of Sarah and Arthur Adelson, he was Jewish. His father's family was of Ukrainian Jewish and Lithuanian Jewish ancestry. His mother immigrated from England, and Adelson said that his grandfather was a Welsh coal miner, his father was a taxi driver, and his mother ran a knitting shop. He began his business career at the age of 12, when he borrowed $200 from his uncle and purchased a license to sell newspapers in Boston. In 1948, he borrowed $10,000 from his uncle to start a candy vending machine business. He attended the City College of New York, but did not graduate, and attended trade school in a failed attempt to become a court reporter. Then subsequently joined the Army. After being discharged from the Army, he established a business selling toiletry kits, then started another business named the Ice-It, which marketed a chemical spray which cleared ice from windshields. In the 1960s, he started a charter tour business. He soon became a millionaire, although by his 30s he had built and lost his fortune twice. Over the course of his business career, Adelson created almost 50 businesses, making him a serial entrepreneur. In the late 1970s, Adelson and his partners developed the COMDEX trade shows for the computer industry. Beginning in 1979, it was one of the largest computer trade shows in the world through much of the 1980s and 1990s. In 1995, Adelson and his partners sold the Interface Group show division, including the COMDEX shows, to SoftBank Group of Japan for $862 million. Adelson's share was over $500 million. In 1988, Adelson purchased the Sands Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas for $110 million. The following year, Adelson and his partners constructed the Sands Expo and Convention Center, then the only privately owned and operated convention center in the U.S. in 1991. While honeymooning in Venice with his second wife, Miriam, Adelson came up with the idea for a mega resort hotel. He raised the Sands and spent $1.5 billion to construct the Venetian, a Venice-themed resort hotel and casino. The Venetian opened May 3, 1999. In the late 2000s, Adelson and the company built a casino resort in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It is one of 5 standalone casinos that were awarded a slots license by the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board in 2006. The casino opened May 22, 2009. In 2010, during the Great Recession, Adelson told the Wall Street Journal, "If it were today, we probably wouldn't have started it." Adelson led a project to bring Las Vegas Sands casinos to Macau. The 1 million square feet Sands Macau became China's first Las Vegas-style casino when it opened in May 2004. He recovered his initial $265 million investment in 1 year and, because he owned 69% of the stock, he increased his wealth when he took the stock public in December 2004. Following the opening of the Sands Macau, Adelson's personal wealth multiplied more than 14 times. In August 2007, Adelson opened the $2.4 billion Venetian Macau Resort Hotel on Cotai and announced that he planned to create a massive, concentrated resort area he called the Cotai Strip, after its Las Vegas counterpart. Adelson said that he planned to open more hotels under brands such as Four Seasons, Sheraton, and St. Regis. His Las Vegas Sands planned to invest $12 billion and build 20,000 hotel rooms on the Cotai Strip. By 2010, Adelson's company was reportedly under federal investigation over alleged violations of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act relating to payments made to a Macau lawyer. In 2015, Sands agreed to pay a $9 million settlement with the Securities and Exchange Commission, which included no admission of wrongdoing. In May 2006, Adelson's Las V.